Right, okay. It's been a little while since I did a non-FIFA video. Honestly, this self-isolation means no football, which means no Operation Arsenal, and sad times. So I thought I'd change it up today. I've had enough of FIFA. I need to take a day off, I think. And we're going to do a Q&A. I've got quite a few questions to get through today, and we're just going to chill and, I guess, answer some of your questions and just see where we go, really. It's just going to be one of those videos where maybe you can turn it off and have it on in the background while you're chilling doing something else. I don't know. But let's get into the first question of today's video, and that comes in from Karan. I'm not sure if I pronounced your name wrong or right. Sorry, mate. What are your favourite music artists that you listen to whenever you get the chance? That's a really good question. I'm going to open up my Spotify here, actually. I go through phases. I don't know if I'm the only one, right? But if I'm enjoying an artist, I listen to them non-stop for maybe a week, 2 weeks, and then I'll move on to someone else. I'm not really that kind of guy that's got a playlist with thousands of songs and I just whack it on shuffle. I quite like to listen through a whole album. You know, I like doing that. Maybe I'm abnormal doing that. But as I go through my Spotify right now, I went through a bit of a Bring Me the Horizon kind of phase. I was listening to a lot of them, their newer stuff, not necessarily their old screamo stuff. I mean, I'm into prog rock, not maybe heavy metal, but definitely heavier rock music. I'm into that kind of stuff. I'm a big fan of. There's one band I found a couple of months ago called Destiny Potato, which I'm really enjoying. But right now, I would say it's between Falling in Reverse and I Prevail. I've just found an album called Trauma by I Prevail. It's a real mix. Their first song, Bow Down, it might be up there in my top 10 songs of all time now. It's so addictive. It's really, really heavy at places in the song, and then it will mellow out in the chorus, and it'll be a bit more melodic. I don't know. That's just my exact kind of taste right now, anyway. I don't like messy, screaming music, but I do like heavy metal, a lot of, I don't know, really good drums and some good vocals in there as well. I'm a big fan of Killswitch Engage. I'm a big fan of Tesseract, Devin Townsend Project. There's quite a few bands that I listen to, but right now I would say it's probably I Prevail or Falling in Reverse, I would say. Good question. Thank you for that one. The next one is coming in from Sunderland News and Banter page. Have you watched Sunderland Till I Die? I'm guessing you mean season 2. And if so, what did you think of it? So I watched season 1, as I'm sure a lot of people did when it first came out. And yes, I have now watched the second season. I basically binged it in 24 hours. I watched 3 episodes one night, and then the following day in the afternoon, I just finished it. Yeah, brilliant. Superb series. You got a feel for the Sunderland fans, but I do get there's a lot of fans out there that have watched this because maybe they don't like Sunderland and they find it entertaining, seeing a club struggle so much. I mean, imagine 2 relegations in a row, and then the season when you think you might be able to come back, you hit 2 Wembley Cup final appearances. Or not Wembley Cup final, not the Wembley Cup by Spencer Owen. I just mean they've gone to Wembley twice for 2 separate final occasions. They lost both. I mean, it's it's horrendous. I thought the new owners were fascinating. Was it Stuart and Charlie? I think it was Charlie. Stuart seemed like a very level-headed guy, a proper businessman, but also had a strong emotional side to him. He seemed to really want the club to do well, and it wasn't just about finances. You know, especially the bit where he was signing Will Grigg. You know, he was adamant, just throw the money in. We need to sign a player. We need success. Whereas Charlie, I wasn't so much a fan of. I thought he was a bit harsh on some of the employees. It's not their fault that the club was being ran terribly when he came in or before he came in, and I think he could have been a little bit I don't know, a little bit less harsh, but I do get what his job was to do, and he got results, you could say, you know, with the attendance figures and things like that. But in general, it was brilliant. I don't want to talk about it too much because a lot of you guys are probably yet to watch it. It's superb. If you're a Sunderland fan, though, I'd probably give it a miss. It's it's very stressful, isn't it? Stressful times for Sunderland. Right. The next question is from Yuri. He says, do you think Arsenal will ever be back at their top level? What is Arsenal's top level? I mean, it's a bit of a high bar, isn't it? The Invincibles, I guess, and the team that made it to the Champions League final against Barcelona, which, of course, we lost. I remember that very well. Well, the short answer to this question is no. I don't think so. But the long answer is possibly. I think it really depends on the next 5 years. Are we going to stick with Arteta for the next 5 years? Are we going to keep changing manager like other clubs have done over the last 10, 15 years? In modern football, it's very, very difficult for a manager to get more than a year, it feels like. So with Arteta, it was similar to when we hired Unai. Everyone was like, yeah, this will be our long-term manager. We want another Wenger, someone that's here for a long, long time. Obviously, that didn't quite work out. But with Arteta, I get a different feeling because he's an Arsenal man. He's played for Arsenal. He was captain for Arsenal. And because he's so damn young, this is kind of like Eddie Howe at Bournemouth. He's just been there for such a long time, and you almost just keep going, don't you? You want to keep going and keep it feeling similar for the players. They don't want to chop and change managers all the time. If we keep Arteta and he proves to be an astute manager, which I think he's proving already to be at such an early stage in his career, if we recruit the right staff with him over the years, staff will leave, staff will come. And if we recruit the right players, invest in the youth academy, bringing in new players all the time, then yeah, I think we can get back to at least challenging for the Premier League title. But when it comes to winning the title and doing it unbeaten, I don't think it's ever going to happen again. I mean, Liverpool probably came closest. Obviously, this season, it's not great right now, is it? But Liverpool obviously lost to Watford in the end, and I don't know if it's ever going to be done again. And if it is done again, that was probably it. That was probably the chance for a team to do it. This season, it's just Liverpool versus everyone else, and everyone else sucks. So I think I'll stick with my short answer, though. The question is a great question, and the answer is no, I don't think so. But obviously, I would absolutely love it if we did. Next question comes in from just D. Okay. Do you ever plan on branching out more to other games and uploading them on your main channel? I'd like to see it, and I think others would too. So the reason I've included this question is because it gives me a chance to plug my Twitch channel. So if you don't know, yes, YouTube is FIFA for me. I do FIFA videos. That's just me. I do have a second channel called MGH Plays, which has a ton of old videos on it of me playing games like The Last of Us, Far Cry 3. I've done full playthroughs on those, but it's not really my kind of thing anymore. If I'm recording, it's FIFA. If I'm playing other games, it's Twitch, or it's just me relaxing with some friends. So please follow me on Twitch. I have streamed there every day for about 10 days now, playing Call of Duty, Euro Truck Simulator, F1 2019. I play all sorts of other games, just not on YouTube. So please do follow me on Twitch if that's what you want to see. I'm live pretty much every day at the moment during this self-isolation, quarantining time, and I'd really appreciate your support. You can go ahead and follow my Twitch channel. It is /officialmgh, twitch.tv/officialmgh. And I play other games there. I have played FIFA as well, so if you just are a FIFA guy, I have been streaming in Arsenal career mode lately. Next question, we have D again. Nope, that's the wrong one. I think, have I added the same one twice? I think I have. Thoughts on VAR and how it needs to be fixed. This is a loaded question, and I'm not sure how I feel about answering it. This is way, way, way above my expertise, of course, but we've all got our opinions on VAR, and it's been quite nice not having any VAR debates or scandals recently, because obviously the football's been postponed for now. So my thoughts on it first are, we need it. We definitely need something in the game that can fix the errors that referees make consistently. And it's fair. It makes the game more fair, and I'm all for it. However, it's not being used properly. I feel like it could be great, but it isn't right now. And there's plenty of ways we can improve that. And I think most of all, it's the inconsistency. You're seeing decisions given by VAR and then not even being checked by VAR later on in the same game when the same thing has happened. And there's an inconsistency with how long it takes as well. Some decisions take minutes, some take seconds. And also, it's not very exciting when you score now, because you're never sure if it's actually going to count. And that is the worst thing to do in football. What is football? It's about celebrating your team succeeding, winning games, winning trophies, right? You follow your team for life, for the most part. Anyway, most people stick to one team. I know some people like to chop and change, which blows my mind. But you want to celebrate when your team is doing well. And what's the most important thing in a game of football? It's the goals, right? It's seeing the ball hit the back of the net and celebrating and going mental. Now it kind of feels like you're celebrating the decision after the goal has gone in because you're never sure if it's going to be ruled out or not. And I really, really do not like that. So, unfortunately, there isn't really a way to fix that particular issue because if we use VAR, that's going to happen. Goals are going to be reviewed. That's just the way it is. So you can't fix that, but you can fix how we use it, the structure that we've got behind VAR and how we approach things in-game. So I don't know how to fix it exactly, but look at other leagues. I think the Bundesliga have done really well with it. I think we can learn a lot from other leagues. I think the way we used it in England is not great. Is the referee in charge of the games anymore, or is it the guy sitting behind a screen at home telling the referee what to do? I think you've got to decipher that. That has to be the key for me. And to be fair, a lot of the time this season, I just wish it wasn't in the game. I want it to do well. I want it to work, and I want everyone to love it because it's fair, but it's ruining the game as it is right now. So that's my thoughts. The next question comes in from Oscar Nilsson. What is your opinion? Should the Premier League be cancelled or played in the summer? Well, the obvious answer to that question is it should be played in the summer if it can be. So I'm not talking about the C word, the virus that's going around right now, but obviously that's the reason we're in this position. I feel like if it's safe to do so, you could do an in-house finale. They are talking about doing this. A month solid of games where we finish the Premier League. This would mean postponing indefinitely the Champions League, the Europa League, just cancelling it this year. It doesn't really matter. It's just a tournament. The league, though, needs to be finished. Yes, even though that means Liverpool will win the title. So I see this as a potential way of doing it. You have 6 weeks, whether it's the start of June until mid-July. There's no Euros now, so we've got this time. What if all players and their families were quarantined indefinitely during these 6 weeks? So they're self-isolating, food is being delivered to them, whatever they need is delivered to them. They don't leave the house, so the footballers can play football. I think that is realistically the only way to guarantee the safety is if everyone involved is not going out in the open world just for those 6 weeks. But the thing is, it's inhumane to do that, especially to the family. If they've got kids, you can't say to your kids, sorry, dad needs to play for the next 6 weeks. You can't leave the house. Because if one player gets infected during this 6 weeks tournament, it's done. So if that's the route we're going, that's the only way to do it. And I don't think that works. So I guess the only other way you could do it is to postpone the start of next season and just finish this season as soon as it's safe to do so. When we see enough of the C word disappearing, that they reckon that it's probably safe to play behind closed doors at least, finish it then. Please show all the games, though. That's all I'm asking for free as well. Someone needs to see this as an opportunity to win the fans back a little bit. We're sick of the TV rights and having to own 10 subscriptions in different countries to watch all the games your team plays in. Stream every single game of this mini tournament style finale to the Premier League. That would be amazing. But anyway, I'm getting sidetracked here. I think ultimately it's not going to get finished in the way we want it to be finished, and that is obviously just resuming the Premier League as it is, the beginning of June, and just finishing it. That's probably not going to work. They can do the self-quarantining / isolation thing with all players involved, all staff involved, and just completely cut them off from the real world for 6 weeks. But that's not a very nice thing to do. Ultimately, it is just shift it as far as we can. And if that means delaying the start of next season, which I don't think will happen, then I don't know. That's the real answer. I don't know. It's very difficult. The big guys, the big dogs in their suits are going to be talking about this for months to come. But we are where we are right now, and unfortunately that means no football. So I personally would like to see it finished, though. I think Liverpool deserve to win the league. Quick shout on Liverpool, though, and a few other clubs that have announced that they're paying 20% of staff salaries and letting the government pay the other 80%. That's what I think about that. Next question, and the last question. Why have you never been much of an Ultimate Team fan on FIFA? That comes in from OS. I think Ultimate Team sucks because you rely on connection. You rely on opening your wallet to buy all the best players. Ultimately, I mean, yeah, you can get away with with playing for free and earning these players in the long run. But I think, let's be fair, if you open your wallet early on in the season, you're going to have a massive advantage. But the connection on the game absolutely sucks. I hate the meta, the way that there's literally only 50 or 60 players that everyone uses. And I like career mode. That's why. That's it, really. That's why Ultimate Team is not for me. Although I have played it on and off over the years. But that's going to be the end of this Q&A. I'd like to do these every now and again. It's a nice break from FIFA. Thank you so much for all the questions. If you've enjoyed the video, please do leave a like rating. Make sure you follow me on Twitch, and I will see you for the next Q&A, I guess, in a couple of weeks' time.